Okay guys, this will be the last part of our Unit 4 review. Hopefully this will help you out enough. If not, just let me know tonight and I can maybe put some things together. But anyways, let's get started. So guys, this one right here, we're supposed to basically evaluate this. And the trick is, again, can we evaluate it without a calculator? Okay? So, how are we going to do that? Well, we know it has to equal some value. Let's call that x. So, if you watch my previous videos, I showed you that this is a base 4. So, we know that 4 to the x power has to equal 16. Now, you probably could do this one in your head, because hopefully you realize that 4 squared is 16. Therefore, x equals 2. And in my other videos, I've shown you how you can make them the same base and solve it that way as well. But just to prove my point though, remember guys, you also should know change of base, right? So if you're allowed, you could have taken your calculator, okay, and you could have done log 16 divide log 4 using the parentheses and everything correctly, and you notice you would have gotten 2 as well. But you ought to be able to do a problem like this with and without a calculator. With the calculator, you're going to use change of base. Okay, now guys, solving a log equation. What you're going to do now is use what you learn about condensing log functions. Okay? For example, there's a plus right here. And with logs, pluses means you can times them together. So I'm going to do the log of 9 times this log, which is x squared minus 9. And that still equals log 35. Now, here's something you should know, is that a regular log, notice there's no number here or here, right? When there's no number there, guys, that number is really a 10. That's the way it is on your calculator as well. That log button on your calculator, guys, is base 10, power 10. So, how do we get rid of a log, base 10? Is we do a 10 power on both sides. Hopefully your teacher showed you something similar to this. And you see a 10 power gets rid of the log base 10. And as you can see, what I have left over is 9 times x squared minus 9 equal to, now on the right side of the equals, the 10 power gets rid of the log base 10 again. And as you can see, I'm left with 35. Now from here, I just have a regular algebraic equation. It does have a squared in it. But the first thing I'm going to do, and hopefully you agree with this, is why not divide both sides by 9? That way that 9 is gone. So x squared minus 9 now equals 35/9. Now on these problems, your teacher should let you use a calculator and you're going to come up with decimal answers. So that's what I did. I took 35/9, as you can see right here. That's 3.88888 repeating. So x squared minus 9 is 3.888 repeating. Notice the little horizontal bar there, meaning repeating, right? Now what am I going to do is I'm going to add 9 to both sides, because now that gives me x squared, right? So x squared is going to equal 3.88888. That's the answer, plus 9. So I get 12.888. So from here, how do we solve any squared? You guys should know we are going to take the square root of both sides. So x is going to be positive or negative, whatever that is. And the square root of our answer, 12.888 repeating, is 3.5901. Now, normally your teacher is going to want you to go to 4 decimal places, tenths, hundreds, thousands. Sometimes they'll say 10,000ths place, but generally discuss that with your teacher, or hopefully you already know. In this case, we're going to the 4th decimal place. So our answer is 3.5901. Now, guys, don't forget it's both positive and negative. Okay? And there's your answers. You have two answers, 3.5901 and the negative of 3.5901. Okay? Now, the other thing I want to show you is, if you have the ability, you should check your answer with the calculator. Check this out. Let me get this in the right spot. So here's the answer that we got right down here, right? And if I do the left side here, I'm going to do the log of 9, follow the red here, plus the log of our answered square. This goes in for answer, minus 9 together. Notice I get 1.544068, right? And on the right side here, it's supposed to equal log 35. So if I do the log of 35, see how I get exactly the same answers here. So I know that it is a correct answer. And remember, when you square a negative, it becomes a positive, so you get the same result with that one as well. So I have no doubt I nailed this one. I did it perfectly. Okay? So I don't know if you want to pause the video here, if you haven't done so already. Or maybe even here to see all the calculator work. Okay, let's move on. So on this one, notice that there is a minus here. A minus with logs, guys, you should hopefully know by now, is divide. So what I really have is log base 2. Notice it is a base 2 there. So it is there. They have to be the same bases to make this work. And I'm going to take x squared plus 3. That's this log here, right? And because of the minus, I'm going to divide by 3. And that's supposed to equal 2. Now that I have my log here together on the left side, listen very carefully, guys. This is a base 2. So I know if I do a 2 power on both sides, the 2 power gets rid of the log base 2, and I'm left with this. X squared plus 3 divided by 3 equal to that. 2 squared is 4. Again, I could just solve from here. I'm going to times both sides by 3. That cancels out the divide 3. So x squared plus 3 I know equals 12. 3 times 4 is 12. I'm now going to minus 3 both sides. Oh, so this one works out really nice. X squared therefore is 9. So once I do the square root on both sides, x is going to be positive 3 and negative 3. Don't forget the negative answer. And once again, pause it if you need to here, guys. I got it all solved. But again, I recommend you practice checking it with your calculator. Notice, once I go through the whole motion here, I get 2, which is what I got there. Now, I want to point out a few things before I move on, guys. In this one here, we're reminded that logs with minuses become a division problem when we condense. On this one here, we're reminded that plus right here with logs becomes a multiply problem, which it did right there, right? Once you get the log condense, this one was a base 10. That's why I did a 10 power on it. This one was a base 2. That's why I did the 2 power on it. And I can't remind you enough how important it is, especially with you at home. You should have your own calculator. You should be practicing with it. If you don't get proficient with your calculator, guys, it's just going to cause further heartache and problems later on in your math career through college. All right, let's do at least a couple more here. Now, we're going to exponential functions. Now, guys, I'm going to solve it a similar way, just backwards. First thing I'm going to do is get my power by itself. On these here, we got the log basically by itself, right? We condensed it to one log. We were able to do a power on it, you see? On this one, our power is at 17 base power there. So what I'm going to do is divide both sides by -5 to start out with. So I'm left with 17 to the 2n power equal to whatever that is. I'm going to take my calculator and I'm going to divide 27 by 5. Negative divided by negative is positive, right? And I'm going to get 5.4. Now here's the key step, guys. This is a 17 power, right? So logs and exponents are inverses of each other. So what I'm going to do is a log base 17 on both sides. Okay? Because of the 17 power, I'm going to do a log base 17. Now watch very carefully. I'm going to be very methodical here. The log base 17 kills off the 17 base, and I'm just left with that. 2n equal to whatever this is. Now guys, hopefully by now you know change in base. You're going to take your calculator and you're going to do the log of 5.4 and you're going to divide by the log of 17. That's how you do log base 17 of 5.4 using change of base. With the calculator, when I do the log of 5.4 divided by the log 17, I get 0.5952. To solve for this n, I'm going to divide both sides by 2. So I know n is going to equal, notice I took this answer, I divided by 2. And again, you want to go to at least 4 decimal places. That means you're going to go right there. The 1 means you don't round the 6 up. So I know my answer is 0.2976. And that's it. Now, if you want to check your answer, guys, check this out. I did check it out down here. Follow the purple. I typed in -5 times 17 to the 2n, n being the answer, 0.2976. Notice I got -27, just like it was supposed to be right there. So pause it here if you need to. Pause it here if you need to. Okay, I'm going to squeeze in one more problem and we should be done. Again, what's my goal? Get the power by itself. I'm going to add 1 to both sides. (56 plus 1, 57). Now, how do I get rid of this times? I'm going to divide both sides by 7. So notice I now have my 9 power by itself equal to that, which is 57 divided by 7. I'm just going to write down 8.14, guys. That's okay. I left the full answer in my calculator, however, as you'll notice. Now, how do I get rid of a 9 power, guys? I'm going to do a log base 9 on it. Log base 9 gets rid of a 9 base for the power, and I'm just left with 2.7n equal to whatever that is. Again, guys, I'm going to do the log of 8.14, whatever it is on my calculator, divided by the log of 9. So notice, guys, I did not delete or clear my answer. I left that in my screen. I did the log of that answer divided by the log of 9. Again, I just did this right here. Here is the answer I want. 0.95445 if I was to write that down. So 0.95. 0.9544 basically. Now, guys, again, don't clear your calculator because to solve for n here, we have to divide by 2.7. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take our answer. Notice I did not clear it out or retype it in. I want the best answer I can get with the most decimal numbers in it. I round off basically at the end. When I divide that by 2.7, I get 0.3535. And pause the video here, guys, so you can see how I checked my answer. So I know n is 0.3535, right? 0.3535. There it is. And when I plugged it in, notice right here, I know I did it right. So guys, I want to just end the video basically there. This video is running a little long, but a lot of really good information and examples and work shown in here. I hope this helps you guys. Good luck. Keep working hard. Take care. See you around.